Welcome back to Next Stop, the podcast for smarter travel. I'm your host, Avery.
And I'm Melody. And Avery, we are officially in that exciting, slightly overwhelming time of year where all the big travel publications start dropping their best places to go lists for the year ahead.
It's the best time of year for armchair travelers and actual planners, and 2026 travel is really shaping up around a few big forces. We're seeing easier access to some really overlooked regions, some big anniversary moments, and this collective shift toward destinations that just feel new again.
Exactly. So today we're diving into the best places to go in 2026. We've pulled picks from Condé Nast Traveler, Travel and Leisure, AFAR, Frummers, Lonely Planet, and Expedia's big destination lists. And our goal is to help you figure out which one is actually right for you.
Okay, so a quick note before we jump in. These aren't like a single official ranking. Every magazine and travel site has its own vibe and criteria.
Right, it's not a competition, so we're doing two things today. First, we're spotting the repeat picks, the places that show up across multiple major lists, because that's a pretty strong signal that something cool is happening there.
And second, my favorite part, we're highlighting some of the wildcard destinations, those places that might only be on one list, but could be absolutely perfect if you want something a little different from the usual circuit.
Love a good wild card. Okay, so before we get to the specific cities and countries, we noticed three big themes that kept popping up across these lists. They really set the stage for why these places are trending now.
Yeah, let's start with the first one, which is all about new access and easier logistics. Several of the big lists from Condé Nast and Travel and Leisure are emphasizing destinations that are just getting easier to reach. We're talking new flight routes, improved infrastructure, or even just travel demand finally shifting beyond the typical one or two capital cities in a country.
Which is huge because sometimes the only thing stopping you from visiting a place is the hassle factor. The second theme feels related, and it's this off-the-beaten-path momentum. AFAR in particular really leans into places that are on the rise and have been historically overlooked.
The hidden gems that are maybe not so hidden anymore. I like that. And that brings us to the third theme, which is the data-driven angle. This is where you get the what people are actually searching for in booking insights. Travel and Leisure did a great summary of this, looking at trend callouts from Skyscanner and Google. It's less about editorial taste and more about pure public interest.
So you've got easier access, hidden gems gaining steam, and data showing us where the crowds are heading. A perfect storm for travel planning.
Exactly. All right, let's get into the destinations themselves. We've got 8 picks to talk through. First up, Brussels, Belgium.
Ooh, interesting. I feel like Brussels is often treated as just a layover city.
That's exactly why it's a great pick. Condé Nast Traveler chose it for 2026, and they frame it as classic Europe with an under-the-radar edge. You've got incredible art, great design, and it's a perfect hub for day trips, which keeps your itinerary flexible. You can get to Bruges, Ghent, Antwerp so easily.
Right, so it's best for first-time Europe travelers who want a lot of variety without the hassle of moving hotels every 2 nights.
Totally. A little micro plan would be 3 or 4 days. You could spend a day exploring the Grand Place, another day hitting the art museums like the Magritte Museum, and then definitely build in at least one day trip by train to Ghent or Bruges.
I love that. Okay, my turn for a pick. Also from Condé Nast Traveler's 2026 list, let's talk about Fez, Morocco.
Okay, now this is a place that feels like a real adventure.
It really is. The magazine describes it as a place that feels like living history. It has such a deep sense of culture and a totally different pace from that beach and resort image some people have of Morocco. We're talking ancient medinas, incredible craftsmanship, the smells of spices. It's a full sensory experience.
So this is for the culture-first traveler, the person who loves photography, who is a serious foodie, and who wants to be fully immersed in a place.
Absolutely. For a micro plan, you'd want 2 or 3 days just to get lost in the Medina, visit the famous tanneries, and maybe take a cooking class. Then add a guided day trip to see the Roman ruins of Volubilis.
Okay, I'm sold on that one. Moving across the globe, Japan shows up in multiple 2026 conversations. One standout mention that caught my eye was Ishikawa Prefecture. This was featured in a roundup referencing the BBC's list.
Yes, I'm so glad we're talking about this. Everyone goes to Tokyo and Kyoto, but there's so much more.
Exactly. Ishikawa is perfect for travelers who love that old Japan atmosphere, but want to see it beyond the main tourist hubs. The capital, Kanazawa, has one of Japan's most beautiful gardens, perfectly preserved samurai and geisha districts. It's stunning.
That sounds incredible. So the plan would be to base yourself in Kanazawa. You could spend a day at Kenroku Garden, another exploring the old samurai and geisha districts, and definitely get some amazing seafood since it's on the coast.
You got it. A perfect addition to a longer Japan trip.
Speaking of Japan, let's talk about a totally different vibe. Expedia's Destinations of the Year list includes Okinawa.
So we're going from mainland to tropical islands.
Completely. This is the pick if your idea of Japan is more about islands, incredible beaches, and a much slower rhythm of life. It has a unique culture all its own, different from mainland Japan. This is for the warm weather traveler who wants Japan with a coastal, almost Caribbean-like twist.
That's a great contrast. What's the plan for Okinawa?
I'd say give it 4 to 6 days. You could explore the main island's historical sites like Shuri Castle, then hop over to a smaller island like Ishigaki for incredible snorkeling and beaches. It's a perfect mix of culture and relaxation.
Love it. Okay, let's head to our side of the world. Travel and Leisure's 2026 list includes a city I absolutely love, Mexico City.
Oh, 100%. It's one of the easiest big reward trips you can take from the US. The flight is short, but you feel a world away.
Totally. The food scene is just out of this world, from street-side tacos to Michelin-starred restaurants. You have amazing museums, and all the different neighborhoods, Condesa, Roma, Coyoacán, feel like their own distinct worlds.
It's the perfect destination for a long weekend that still feels like a real, substantial trip.
For sure. A 3 to 5 day trip is ideal. You could spend one day in the historic center, another exploring the art scene in Roma and Condesa, and then set aside another day for a big trip out to the Teotihuacan pyramids.
Done. Let's book it. Okay, next up, Travel and Leisure also names Singapore for 2026.
The ultimate easy button for Asia travel. Clean, incredibly efficient, and home to some of the best food on the planet.
It really is. It's a place where a stopover can easily become the highlight of your entire trip. This is perfect for first-time Asian travelers, families, or anyone who just wants an easy, stress-free planning experience.
And the food at the hawker centers is legendary for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. The microplan is simple. Give it 2 to 4 days, hit the hawker centers for meals, explore the stunning gardens by the bay, visit the colorful streets of Little India and Chinatown, and make sure to have at least one night enjoying the view from a rooftop bar.
Sounds perfect. Let's bring it back to the US for our last two. Expedia's 2026 list includes Big Sky, Montana.
Okay, this fits right into that bigger trend of nature-first, wide-open spaces travel that we've seen exploding since 2020.
It really does. It's for someone who wants the epic national park energy, but maybe with slightly fewer crowds than, say, Yellowstone's main gates. It's about majestic scenery, outdoor activities, and just resetting in nature.
So what's the game plan for a trip like that?
I had planned for 4 to 7 days. In the summer, you can go hiking or fly fishing. In the winter, it's a world-class ski destination. And it's a great base for exploring a quieter part of the Yellowstone ecosystem.
Sounds like a breath of fresh air. All right, for our final pick, let's head to the Midwest. Frommer's includes Chicago, Illinois for 2026.
A classic. Chicago's one of those cities that's always a good idea, but it's especially good when you plan it right for the season.
Totally. It's the ultimate city break with guaranteed wins. You have world-class architecture, an unbelievable food scene, the beautiful lakefront, and tons of festivals in the summer. It's just a solid, reliable, fantastic choice.
And the architecture boat tour is non-negotiable. It's the best thing to do there.
I completely agree. A perfect 3-day plan. Day 1, you do that architecture tour. Day 2, you explore the Art Institute of Chicago and Millennium Park. Day 3, you do a food crawl through a neighborhood like the West Loop and have a chill evening walking along the lakefront.
That is a fantastic list. Okay, so now that we've thrown 8 very different places at everyone, how do you actually choose? I think the key is to pick your main anchor first. What is the number one thing you want from this trip?
Exactly. Let's do a quick recap based on that. So if your anchor is deep culture immersion,
You're looking at Fez or Ishikawa.
right. If you want what we called easy mode international travel,
That's Brussels or Singapore. Super easy to navigate, fantastic infrastructure.
If you're just craving warm and coastal vibes.
Okinawa is your pick.
If it's all about food and exploring cool neighborhoods.
Mexico City, hands down.
If you desperately need a nature reset.
Big Sky, Montana.
And if you just want a guaranteed good time with no flight stress, a classic city win.
Chicago is your answer. And hey, if you really want to know where people are actively searching, Travel and Leisure also has some interesting reporting on trending destinations according to Google and Skyscanner data. We'll link to that in the show notes too.
Perfect. Okay, so let's get practical for a minute. Let's talk booking. These lists tend to drop late in the year, which is basically your starting pistol.
That recap is a great starting point, but another layer to consider is your travel style. Are you a solo adventurer, planning a romantic getaway, or wrangling the whole family? Yes, it's the signal. If one of these destinations really speaks to you, you need to start watching flights and hotels early. The moment a place gets named to 4 of these lists, search traffic explodes.
Totally, especially for peak seasons and if there's a big event happening that year. I remember trying to book a trip to see the cherry blossoms in Japan way too late one year, and the prices were just astronomical. The good, affordable places get snapped up months and months in advance.
It's the classic rule. The more popular the destination and the more fixed your dates are, the earlier you need to book. So use these lists as your cue to start researching, set up some flight alerts, and get a feel for accommodation costs now.
Couldn't agree more. Planning ahead is the least glamorous but most important part of a great trip.
That about wraps it up for our 2026 travel preview. As promised, I'll put the full list of our sources in the show notes. That's Condé Nast Traveler, Travel Plus Leisure, AFAR, Frummers, Lonely Planet, and Expedia. So you can browse their full lists and build your own short list.
And we have a call to action for you. If you want some personalized help, send us a message. Tell us your budget, your ideal travel month, and the vibe you're going for city, beach, nature, or culture. And we will turn this into a tight 3-option shortlist for you with a day-by-day starter plan.
It's our favorite thing to do. Thanks for tuning in to Next Stop.
Happy planning, and we'll see you next time.